I think putting this whole story together will plug the story of the decline. The people who try to put this word decline in Goa tourism, I think we'll be able to put a plug on this particular story. Goa is a place where anybody using it sometimes can find himself increase his own TRP. So in the last quarter, we have had continuous attacks, out of which we try to first reasonably put things together and answer all the questions put up through social media. We know that there are concerns and issues in any tourism destination you travel, but it is not Goa per se only. And at the same time, we needed to revisit and check what the numbers were. So when it came to December, we had to decide whether to counter and talk about it at that particular time or wait for our facts, figures, and then talk about it. Talking to the board members and talking to our Honorable Chief Minister, we said we will wait because the attack would make no difference to the tourist footfalls and tourism in Goa. We have comfortably sailed the year 2024 in terms of the numbers. As we talk about quality over quantity, I would also highlight that the quantity-wise comparison which has been done, and there was various sort of rumors being spread that Goa has no tourists, no tourism in Goa. As briefly our tourism director has shared, he has shared about the year-on-year growth of 21% compared to previous year. He has shared the December to December growth, which has been quite impressive in terms of 54% increase in the number of tourists between December 2023 and December 2024 comparison. The quarterly growth of the last quarter, if we see, it showed a growth of 38%, which showed a very strong end to the year. Domestic tourism, in fact, went up by 21%, reflecting a sustained interest in local travel. Foreign tourism has seen a growth of 3%, the sector which is recovering steadily, and we are definitely optimistic about a further growth in coming years. I would like to highlight very importantly that the last week of December 2024 saw daily flights of 200 flights per day, which is quite a record in the preceding years for the last week of December. At the same time, when we spoke to our OTA platforms, whether it was Make My Trip or Booking.com, and when we asked them which was the best leisure destination in India, they boiled out and they announced Goa is the best leisure destination as far as Goa is concerned in terms of the travel. So when we start talking about compilation of social media influence, what has happened in the last couple of months, which somewhere I also use the word toolkits, I would like to put things here together and ensure that we are working here to see these positive trends and the continued interest in our state as a preferred travel destination. I think putting this whole story together will plug the story of the decline. The people who try to put this word decline in Goa tourism, I think we'll be able to put a plug on this particular story. I'm happy to say that Goa is performing much better than the national average. Goa has got great resilience and adaptability in a competitive tourism landscape. And as a year-to-year round destination, we are also looking at increasing off-season business. Today's stakeholders meeting gave an insight on the issues raised. We wouldn't discount the issues raised by certain social media influencers, but as I said earlier, it is always a part of a tourism destination that they have their own challenges. And it is not only Goa to be pinpointed the way it was, but coming here and acknowledging the government, acknowledging the issues and wanting to put the things ahead, came with this stakeholders conclave today. We have summed up all the issues which will be taken up for the Goa Tourism Board meeting, which will be chaired by the Honorable Chief Minister. After that, we are expecting the Chief Secretary with his secretary and directors to have an action plan, which will be presented to the Chief Minister, to me and to the rest of our colleagues who have been there wanting to put things ahead in perspective. Tourism is an industry and not only a department. And tourism, when we get a throwback, whether it is on the taxi, whether it is on the cleanliness, whether it is many things which get highlighted, or the touting, there are responsible departments which work collectively to ensure that we have the best of it for the tourist who comes here for our experience. We need to also accept that there has been a little over tourism and infrastructure strain. We know that there is overcrowding in North Goa beaches like Baga and Kalangut, which is leading to friction between locals and tourists. We know that there are issues on waste management. We are working towards waste management, public transport, and the cleanliness of the beaches. There are concerns of certain areas where we talk about increasing presence of budget travelers, which create a lot of challenges such as disregard for local rules and culture. But with the enhanced beach cleanliness and facilities to attract quality tourists and understand it's just not a beach issue, we have started working closely with our Honorable Chief Minister to resolve the same. We are wanting to ensure that technology is adapted at every stage. We have had the Goa Miles and the Goa Taxi, which is already there, talking about the transport services in terms of adaptability to technology. And as we recognize certain pockets have complaints about taxis, we also would like to highlight that the taxi, traditionally the taxi fellows have been our ambassadors in terms of a long term tourist who has been coming every year, who normally takes him along on an annual understanding. So that relationship management which a Goan has been doing with Atiti Devo Bhava, we only need to improvise certain areas which we have started doing with the adaptability of technology. We have to understand that there are challenges which we have taken up with the center also in terms of the issues as far as airfare is concerned, the dynamics of air travel, new connectivity, emerging connecting to emerging markets. Now this is a continuous process, and as we take the recognition of issues that we are facing at the state level, we are pretty sure that whether it is a visa issue, whether it is a connectivity issue, whether it is a fare issue, I think all these issues are in transit. Secondly, as a state, we are being compared to a country. As a state, we have our own restrictions to open sky policies. We have our own restrictions to seat entitlement. We have our own restrictions for the type of things that we need to connect with. At the same time, we cannot be compared with the footfalls of a country like Sri Lanka, Thailand, Vietnam, which have been talking about tourism in a different perspective. We wouldn't want to be Thailand, is what I said some time back. And I'm very pretty sure that with the two airports coming up, with numbers, with a growth potential of 27% at Daboli, I think this should put at rest the issues of people who have been talking and creating rumors about Dabolim shutting down and becoming a ghost airport. When we have these particular two airports moving in and increase not only in numbers, but also looking at both airports investing further in their own infrastructure, whether it's MOPA or Dabolim, it's a very clear trend in terms of understanding that the footfalls are here to increase. We need to understand that India's booming tourism has led to outbound tourism, with countries which have been eyeing Indian tourism through visa on arrival policies and attractive offers. And for us, tourism is not a zero-sum game. We are working on it. Tourists are taking multiple vacations, and Goa definitely continues to be a favorite among Indian tourists. The Indian middle class in driving of off-season tourism is preferring short vacations, and Goa definitely is one of them. We have been adding a lot of more things in our part. When we talk about regenerative tourism, we are the first in the country to talk about regenerative tourism. We have been the first to talk about sustainability. And we, as through these particular four pillars of regenerative tourism, of culture, of society, of economics and environment, we have been doing our part to ensure that we promote Goa as a proper premier destination.